started making 5th grade math videos for my students to learn during this crazy time and decided that I wanted to share them with all of you to get as many students learning as possible. So please like, share, and subscribe. Everyone deserves to learn during this crazy time. Feel free, teachers, to use this in your own teaching. Parents, I hope it helps you understand the way that we're learning math these days and keep some peace in your house. And students, I hope this helps you in every way possible. I know it stings to not be at school, and you definitely want to be prepared for the next grade. So let's get started. If you have anything that you want me to cover, connellymathathome@gmail.com. I teach 5th grade, but I've made a lot of 4th grade videos. I need to catch up on making the 3rd grade ones. I'll cover any topic 5th grade or below. Just let me know what you want, okay? So today we're going to talk about when you divide a whole number by a whole number, but your result is a mixed number or a fraction. Okay, so we're going to be thinking about sharing things equally. So let's take a look here. 3 friends are equally sharing 4 brownies. How much brownie does each friend get? So, parents, if you're watching, a common mistake that kids love to do is 3 divided by 4. The number that comes first in the story problem, they want to smack it right down and get going without making sense of what's going on. If I did 3 divided by 4, I would have 3 friends divided by 4 brownies, and that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we really want to make sure that they're taking a second. I wrote this in the wrong order on purpose. You're going to have a lot of story problems that don't go in order, if you will. So we have to make sense of what's going on. So let's do that. We have 4 brownies, and we're always going to be doing a representation with fractions to help us understand. So I have 4 brownies, and I want to split them between 3 friends equally, and I want to know how much does each friend get. So we have a couple ways of solving. Okay, clearly there's more brownies than there are friends. So I'm going to say friend 1, I'm going to just call it F1. Friend 1 gets this brownie, friend 2 gets this brownie, and friend 3 gets that brownie. So far, they each get 1 brownie. But what do we do with that last brownie to make it fair? Well, we have to split it up equally. And students will feel pretty confident doing this, so I know that I'm going to split this into thirds. Friend 1, friend 2, friend 3. So we just want to be careful here when we're answering the question. We want to know how much does each friend get. So I'm just going to pretend we're talking about friend 1 first. Friend 1 got a whole brownie and 1/3 of the final brownie. Friend 2 got a whole brownie and 1/3 of the final brownie. And friend 3 got a whole brownie and 1/3 of the final brownie. So when I think about how much does each friend get, they each get 1 whole and 1/3. So they each get 1 whole and 1/3. But that's not the only way that we might split up these brownies, because let's say, this is just like literally my favorite thing to do in the whole world. I'm out with my friends, there's 3 of us, and we just want to try a little bit of everything. So there's a fudge brownie, there's a peanut butter brownie, there's a caramel brownie, and then there's one that has chocolate chips. And we're each going to have a piece of each one. Everybody gets to share. So how would you split the fudge brownie so 3 people could share? That's right, so we're going to split it into thirds. So everybody gets a piece of that. So far, I'm just going to talk about me because each friend's getting the same amount. So far, I'm getting 1/3 of the fudge brownie. Then, in no particular order, because I think these would all taste great, peanut butter brownie, we split it up into thirds and everybody gets to try one. I'm getting a third. All my teacher friends or 2 of my teacher friends are getting thirds. So far, I have had 1/3 of the fudge brownie and 1/3 of the peanut butter brownie. So far, I've had 2/3 of a brownie, of a whole brownie. Then we come over to the caramel. I'm going to take this piece. So now I've had 3/3, which is equivalent to a whole. And then each person's going to try one piece of the chocolate chip. So I get 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3. Mr. Killalay, you get 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3. And Mr. Jones, you get 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3. So each person is getting 4/3. 4/3 of a brownie. Okay? So, well, at the end, we're going to talk about what's going on here in the equations. So, I'm just going to brainstorm what we have. So far, we have 4/3. 4 divided by 3 is the same as 4/3, which is also the same as 1 1/3. But what I want you doing at home, students, is thinking about the relationship between the dividend and the divisor and the numerator and the denominator. Okay, what is happening? Let's see if it keeps happening. Okay, so this time, let's change it so that we have 6 friends are equally sharing 7 brownies. And how much does each friend get? So we have, no, I want 7 friends are equally sharing 6 brownies. How much does each friend get? So 6 brownies are being equally shared between 7 people. How much brownie does each person get? So when you're deciding what your representation is that you're going to draw, you're going to start with how many brownies you have and figure out what to do to get equal share there. So, of course I have to pick big numbers. My goodness, not big, but annoying to draw. So 6 full brownies. And we're splitting them between 7 people. So, you can clearly see that everybody is not getting a full brownie. We're just not. Okay, so what we're going to do is similar to what we did where Miss Conley got to try a piece of every kind of brownie. We can talk about pizzas if you want, because I like to do that all the time. So if 7 people are splitting this pizza, let's call it cheese. Everybody gets 1 piece of the cheese, and I split it into 7 equal pieces. So each person gets 1/7 from here. Then we go to pepperoni, and each person is getting 1 slice of pepperoni. So each person is getting 1/7 from here. Then, what's next? Meatball? I love meatball pizza. Underrated, like get some. While you're stuck at home, get some meatball pizza, it's delicious. Okay, so in the meatball pizza, I usually want to take more than 1 slice, but I'll do fair share. Everybody is going to get 1/7 of this. Okay, so 7 friends. So far we've split up 3 of the pizzas, and each person is getting 1/7 of the pizza. So each person got 1/7 of the cheese, 1/7 of the pepperoni, 1/7 of the meatball. So far each person gets 3/7 of a pizza. But there's 3 more pizzas to try, and I think you might be able to predict what's going on. So let's continue. Each person here is going to get 1/7 of the Hawaiian. So everybody so far got a slice from here, slice from here, slice from here, slice from here. They're cut into 7ths, so far each person has 4/7. Anchovy, I guess, I don't know. We're all having 1/7 of that. Plug your nose and eat it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody's gonna have 1/7, and that's gonna be the dessert pizza. You know when they cover it with Nutella and bananas, we're gonna do one of those. So, if everybody gets to try 1 slice of each pizza, we have to cut it into 7ths because there's 7 of us, and each person gets 1/7. So 1/7, 2/7, 3/7, 4/7, 5/7, 6/7. That's my portion. but the person after me is taking 1 7, 2 7, 3 7, 4 7, 5 7, 6 sevens. We are each going to get 6 sevens because we're getting 1/7 of each pizza. So what do we have here? 6 sevens. Let me write that down here for you to make a generalization about what's going on. Too close? Let me try again. 6 divided by 7 is 6 sevens. And what I want you to be thinking about is how the numerator denominator connected to the dividend and the divisor. 6 divided by 7. See what I'm doing? 4 divided by 3. What is the relationship? So take a minute to think about what do you notice, and then we're going to talk about something important that you need to know about fractions. Okay, you're still going to be using a representation. In 5th grade, you're going to have to make sense of the representations, but there's a generalization we can make here. So let's make a prediction here. If I had 3 brownies split equally between 5 people, can anyone predict? I wish I could call on you right now, I'm so sad. Can anyone predict what the answer might be just by thinking about what happened here and here? I'm going to pause. Some of you might have noticed that your dividend becomes the numerator and your divisor becomes the denominator. And I'm going to tell you why that's happening. Well, it's happening because that's what's going on. But another reason why we can write it like this is because the fraction bar represents division. This is our fraction bar, and this stands for 3 divided by 5. 3/5 is the same as 3 divided by 5. So it's another way to write it, okay? And so if we take our 3 bounties, and each person gets 1/5 of each, if each person gets 1/5 of each brownie, I get a 5th from here, plus a 5th from here, plus a 5th from here. I get 3/5 of a brownie. Another way you could think about it, by the way, is if you split 3 brownies into fifths, you have 3 brownies into 15 fifths, so you can split so that each person gets 3/5 a different way. It's just a little bit sloppier to look at on the screen. But that's what's happening is your dividend becomes the numerator, your divisor becomes the denominator, and this represents 3 divided by 5. Let's look at another situation. If we have 10 divided by 7, so there's 10 brownies split between 7 people. You can write it 10 sevens. Okay? Then you think about, this is an improper fraction. My dividend became the numerator, my divisor became the denominator. This stands for 10 divided by 7. I can write it as 10 sevenths. And then you would figure out that I have 1 whole, each person gets 1 whole, and 3 sevens. They're going to get a 7th of each of the brownies that are left over, so they get 3 sevenths. Okay, so what is the big lesson here? First of all, write your equations correctly, make sense of the story problem. The first number doesn't always have to come first in the equation. Second thing is you're going to draw your representations like we did for the 2 down here and for this one, and you're going to make sense of what's going on. And then finally, the final understanding that we want you to notice is that 3 divided by 5 can be written as 3 divided by 5. Each person gets 3/5 of a brownie. 10 divided by 7 can be written as 10 divided by 7. Everybody gets 10 sevenths, which is the same as 1 full brownie and 3 sevenths. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. Any questions, commonlymath@home@gmail.com. Bye.